Chapter 3701. Overwhelming. The thousand paths and myriad images formation existed on the origin continent, but its true power could only be fully displayed in the soul void. After all, the soul void's formation could utilize the chaotic great Tao powers intertwined within it. On the origin continent, where the Taos were orderly, the formation's power was naturally weakened. The formation appeared, and dozens of primordial virtual treasures flew out to anchor it. Over the past 100 years, Lin Moyu had continuously modified the thousand paths and myriad images formation. It wasn't about mastering many techniques. Specializing in one was enough. Instead of researching other formations, Lin Moyu focused on pushing the thousand paths and myriad images formation to new heights, making it stronger. One of the simplest ways to strengthen an formation was to use powerful treasures as its foundation. Thus, the primordial virtual treasures were put to use. Each treasure had its unique function, whether it was to confuse or attack, and they represented various Taos that crisscrossed the soul void. With dozens of primordial virtual treasures anchoring the thousand paths and myriad images formation, the formation's power in certain areas increased significantly. Compared to its initial creation, its power had more than doubled. The formation emerged like a ferocious beast, engulfing the Tao lords of the lizard god realm. The third ancestor and others were stunned.
With dozens of primordial virtual treasures, the little fox is indeed wreaking havoc in the soul void.
The beast emperor said.
What's wrong with that? It's called dominating. We knew long ago that with the great Tao essence fire, Lin Moyu could dominate the soul void.
Mohe chuckled.
Lin Moyu can even kill the kings of small spirit domains. These guys are in trouble.
The heavenly Tao Lord and Shinchun were also amazed. They had thought Lin Moyu might be powerful, but they hadn't expected him to be so formidable. The formation rumbled, displaying various phenomena as the great Tao powers transformed into dangerous lands, attacking from all sides. Lin Moyu manipulated the formation to separate the lizard god realm's Tao lords. The Tao lords of the lizard god realm, led by the three origin Tao lords, launched a counterattack against the formation. They wielded powerful treasures, causing the formation to tremble incessantly, as if it might shatter at any moment. Although the thousand paths and myriad images formation was strong, it was challenging to trap and kill over a dozen Tao lords. Lin Moyu whispered,
Seniors, please enter the formation. Good.
The third ancestor charged in first, without doubting Lin Moyu or worrying about his safety. He had confidence in himself and Lin Moyu. Following him, the beast emperor, Mohe, Ouyang Wentian, and Shinchun all entered the formation. As they did, Lin Moyu took advantage of the distraction to manipulate the formation, sending the remaining Tao lords elsewhere. At the same time, the Undead Legion clashed with the Lizard God Realm's army, which was quickly routed. The Undead Legion, under the command of the Legion commanders, advanced in an orderly manner, achieving remarkable effects. Lin Moyu freely wielded the world-burning fire, turning the entire battlefield into a sea of flames. So many great Tao cultivators' soul bodies couldn't be wasted. Within 10 minutes of the battle, more than a third of the million-strong Lizard God Realm army was killed or injured, while the Undead Legion remained unscathed. The Legion commander's ability to revive made them treat the Lizard God Realm's army like playthings, slaughtering them at will. Massive numbers of Lizard God Realm's strong figures were defeated, their souls extinguished. Their physical bodies in the Lizard God Realm also died. The main battlefield remained within the Thousand Paths and Myriad Images formation, where the Lizard God Realm's Tao Lords roared incessantly, spewing various words. However, due to the influence of the world will, all their words became incomprehensible noise. Lin Moyu and others were considered enemies by the Lizard God Realm's world will, affecting communication between the two sides. Within the formation, the Tao Lords resisted the barrage of great Tao powers while continuously attacking the formation. The third ancestor and others firmly engaged their opponents, while Lin Moyu manipulated the formation to assist them. Nearly 10,000 skeleton kings entered the formation, quickly separating the Tao Lords and creating independent battlefields. Without the third ancestor and others, Lin Moyu would have been unable to handle these Tao Lords with just the 1,000 paths and myriad images formation. However, now, he unleashed the world-burning fire, enveloping the lizard god realm's Tao Lords in flames that made them scream incessantly.
I wonder what kind of soul crystal they will become after being refined.
Lin Moyu thought with some anticipation. This time, he didn't need to rely on the heavenly calamity staff to kill these Tao Lords. The world-burning fire had reached a bottleneck decades ago and hadn't grown stronger since. Lin Moyu understood that for it to continue strengthening, it needed to refine worlds. The true purpose of the world-burning fire was to refine worlds, not soul crystals. Refining soul crystals was just one of its auxiliary functions. With its current strength, the world-burning fire would take a long time to kill the Tao Lords and could easily be evaded. Only by trapping them and giving the fire enough time could they be burned to death. Lin Moyu was in full control of the battle. For the Lizard God realm, although this invasion wasn't from the real world and their world wouldn't be truly occupied or their Taos destroyed, this battle would completely annihilate their living forces, leaving them defenseless against external invasions. The million-strong Lizard God realm army was slaughtered in less than half an hour, with only a few strong figures like the third ancestor resisting fiercely. The undead legion couldn't kill them, but they couldn't escape either. Lin Moyu wasn't in a hurry, taking his time to wear them down until they were exhausted. This battle had been calculated from the start. Having dealt with many worlds, Lin Moyu had a good understanding of the Lizard God realm's strengths and weaknesses. With the third ancestor's help, it was enough to defeat them. As the battle was decided, Lin Moyu turned his attention elsewhere. A large number of skeleton god generals dispersed, flying deep into the Lizard God realm to search for the world's core. The Lizard God realm was not small. It was much larger than the world occupied by the Soul Heart King, making it more difficult to find the core. However, with experience, Lin Moyu believed he could find it. After a while, with a cry of despair, the first Tao Lord of the Lizard God realm fell. Shen Chan and Ouyang Wentian worked together to kill the Tao Lord who controlled the heavy water Great Tao in the Lizard God realm. For Shen Chan, this was a significant Great Tao contest, and for the overall battle, it provided a breakthrough. After the Tao Lord's death, the heavy water Great Tao appeared, and Shen Chan absorbed it, enhancing his own heavy water Great Tao. At that moment, Shun Chen's aura rose, and he began to transcend the level of a first-tier soul high-rank cultivator, advancing towards becoming a Tao Lord. However, the Tao Lord status he achieved belonged to the Lizard God realm. If he returned to the origin continent, he would lose some of his Tao Lord authority. He might be slightly stronger than a first-tier soul high-rank cultivator, but not by much. If he remained in the Lizard God realm, Shen Chan would be the true Tao Lord. Once all the Tao Lords of the Lizard God realm were dead, leaving only Shen Chan, he would be the strongest existence in the realm. At that point, not only would there be no Tao Lords, but most great Tao cultivators would also be dead. The only ones who could oppose Shen Chan would be the world will. The Lizard God realm's world will lacked intelligence, so it was interesting to see what would happen next. Chapter 3702. First the small man, then the gentleman. Shen Chan absorbed the heavy water Great Tao, enhancing his strength. The Lizard God realm's world will lacked intelligence, acting solely based on instinct. After absorbing the Great Tao, Shen Chan became a Tao Lord recognized by the Lizard God realm's world will. This transformation from enemy to ally seemed amusing to Lin Moyu. However, this was the rule. Everyone acted within predetermined rules. Unless the world will gained intelligence, it couldn't deviate from these rules or act independently, which would be its transcendence. Lin Moyu subtly understood the underlying logic of the universe. Whether it was the world will, cultivators in the real world, or virtual beasts in the soul void, their ultimate goal was transcendence. Each existence had its own path to transcendence. Real-world Tao Lords sought to enter the origin ancestral land, control the great Tao essence, and project it into the origin ancestral land. This was their transcendence. Virtual beasts were born with an instinct to leave the soul void and enter the real world, which was their transcendence. If the world will develop intelligence, it would break free from great Tao rules and establish its own. achieving its transcendence. Lin Moyu had embarked on a different path, unsure if it would succeed, but he believed that as long as he continued, he could achieve his own transcendence. The world-burning fire continued to burn for 300 years, refining the deceased heavy water Tao Lord of the Lizard God realm into a soul crystal. Lin Moyu took the refined soul crystal, finding that its soul power was stronger but otherwise similar to others. He refined one on the spot, slightly enhancing his own soul power, but he remained stuck at a bottleneck. To break through, relying solely on soul crystals wasn't enough. His bottleneck was his own macrocosm. Only by enhancing it could he truly advance. Initially, Lin Moyu had planned to refine the Lizard God realm, but now he had other plans for it. After becoming a Tao Lord, Xin Shan rejoined the battle group, making the situation clearer. The Lizard God realm's Tao Lords fell one by one, and Lin Moyu could sense the world will's lamentation. Tao Lords were the strongest existences in a world, representing the world will's strength. As they grew stronger, the world will also became more powerful. With each Tao Lord's fall, the world will naturally grieved. Lin Moyu whispered,
Soon it will be your turn.
when the Lizard God realm's Tao Lords died, Lin Moyu felt another emotion. He had gained more fate. His true body remained on the origin continent, and his soul was still connected to it. The Lizard God realm was once an enemy of the origin continent, and its Tao Lords were naturally the most hated by the origin continent. The term
Hate.
fit well on the origin continent because its world will had gained intelligence, allowing it to feel hatred. Now, the origin continent sensed Lin Moyu's actions and rewarded him. He felt his fate strengthening on the origin continent.
Indeed, my judgment was correct. Since my true body is still on the origin continent, it means I haven't truly escaped its control. If someone were to leave the origin continent, they would certainly sense it and seal off that path. Therefore, we cannot act rashly.
Although the increase in fate was small, it brought many new discoveries. Lin Moyu knew that fighting the world will would be difficult but necessary. He would eventually clash with the origin continent's world will. Before that, he needed to prepare thoroughly and strategize. The Lizard God realm's Tao Lords continued to die, trapped by the thousand paths and myriad images formation and surrounded by skeleton kings. They repeatedly tried to break out but failed, moving from one anomaly area to another. The primordial virtual treasures, working with the formation, kept them trapped, awaiting only death. The world-burning fire continued to burn, slowly consuming them. They couldn't escape or withstand it. The Lizard God realm's first-tier soul-strong figures struggled under the undead legion's encirclement. When their numbers reached a certain point, a qualitative change would occur. Even ants could kill an elephant if there were enough of them. These
ants
weren't weak. The battle lasted a month, and all 18 Tao Lords of the Lizard God realm were killed. Not even 1% of the great Tao cultivators above the realm survived. The Lizard God realm, once a formidable world, became a sheep waiting to be slaughtered. Now, the strongest in the Lizard God realm was Xin Chen, a Tao Lord from the origin continent, which was quite ironic. Lin Moyu retracted the formation, also obtaining tens of thousands of soul crystals. The third ancestor said,
My true body has received a great Tao reward.
Lin Moyu chuckled.
It's not just you. Everyone should have received one. Do you know what it means?
The third ancestor thought for a moment, his expression turning serious.
He has been watching us.
Lin Moyu nodded.
That's right. He's always been there, so we must be cautious in everything we do.
The world wouldn't monitor everyone. It only watched those who posed a threat, like Tao Lords and first-tier souls, or people like Lin Moyu. As long as Lin Moyu didn't show intentions to transcend, the world wouldn't act. The conversation between the third ancestor and Lin Moyu was incomprehensible to Xin Chen, who looked puzzled. The Beast Emperor asked,
What's next?
Lin Moyu replied,
I need to find the Lizard God Realm's world core and trap it, waiting for the right moment.
He looked at Xin Chen.
But before that, there's something we need to do. Xin Chen, are you willing to stand with us?
Xin Chen wasn't foolish. He realized the gravity of the situation. The third ancestor and others had subtly surrounded him. The massive undead legion remained, forming a circle around him. If he refused, he would be the next to die. Shinshan smiled wryly.
We are comrades in life and death, and I remember the kindness of Lin Dao friend. Please speak directly.
Lin Moyu said.
I'm truly sorry, but this matter is too important. I must be a small man before becoming a gentleman. I currently can't reveal the specifics to Shindao friend, but I need to ask you to stay in the lizard god realm for now. When we need you, we'll tell you what to do. Please don't refuse when the time comes.
Shinshin knew he had to agree, responding decisively.
All right, I don't know how long I'll need to stay.
Lin Moyu shook his head.
It's hard to say. It might be a few hundred or a few thousand years, but it shouldn't be too long.
Shinshan chuckled.
I can wait that long.
After all, he had to agree, so he might as well do it quickly. Lin Moyu said.
Do you have any family left in the southern continent? I'll help you find them if there's any news.
Chapter 3703. This causality is really great. After clearing the battlefield, Lin Moyu formally began searching for the world core of the lizard god realm. During the previous battle, he had already dispatched skeleton god generals to search the surrounding areas, but they found nothing. Now, he needed to continue deeper into the realm. Finding the world core wasn't easy. The lizard god realm was vast, requiring a significant amount of time. Fortunately, Lin Moyu had billions of skeleton god generals. If he relied solely on a few people to search, it would be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, taking tens of thousands of years unless they were extremely lucky. Lin Moyu had experienced searching for world cores twice before, which made it slightly easier for him. The third ancestor whispered.
Little fox, can't you teach others this technique?
Lin Moyu shook his head.
It can't be taught. It's my innate talent.
The third ancestor sighed.
It's truly enviable.
The beast emperor chuckled.
Who wouldn't envy Lin Brothers' technique?
Emohei added.
Without this technique, finding the world core would be as difficult as climbing to the heavens.
Lin Moyu said.
I suppose none of you have seen a world core before?
The others shook their heads, indicating they hadn't. Lin Moyu continued.
Even if we find the world core, without a special method, we can't see its true form. You'll understand once we find it.
Lin Moyu didn't elaborate further. Some things were better understood by seeing them firsthand. Shinshin noticed that despite Lin Moyu's lower cultivation level, everyone seemed to follow his lead, as if he were the leader. Shinshan approached Lin Moyu.
Lin Dao friend, can you tell me what you need me to do?
Lin Moyu replied.
I need you to guard the world core and wait for the right moment. I can tell you one thing though, if you follow my instructions, perhaps your teacher's life can be saved.
Mentioning his teacher, Shun Chen's expression changed, and his eyes revealed a hint of malice. Lin Moyu shook his head.
We're not targeting your teacher. We're allies, not enemies. Remember that. There will be an unimaginable event soon, and your choice can decide life or death. We're trying to minimize casualties, including ourselves and countless lives.
Shin Chun realized the gravity of the situation.
Is this event inevitable?
Lin Moyu replied.
It will happen. It's just a matter of time.
Shin Chun couldn't help but ask.
What is it? Is it bigger than the origin calamity?
Lin Moyu said.
Compared to this, the origin calamity is child's play.
Shin Chun dared not ask further, sensing that Lin Moyu wouldn't reveal more. He also felt the gaze of the third ancestor and others, knowing he was still an outsider who hadn't fully gained their trust. Emohei said,
As the water great Tao Lord, you and your teacher are branches of my Tao. I have some control over you, correct?
Shin Chun nodded.
That's true.
Emohei continued.
Then listen to Lin Brother's words. He won't harm you or the origin continent. Everything we do is to minimize losses on the origin continent. What we ask you to do will not be unjust. You can do it with a clear conscience.
Shin Chun pondered for a moment before choosing to believe them. As a Tao Lord, He couldn't discern truth from falsehood easily. Lin Moyu conducted a thorough search of the lizard god realm. With 1,000,000 great Tao cultivators fallen, the realm was much quieter. The numerous soul worlds that should have existed had collapsed and extinguished. In the real world of the lizard god realm, the aftermath of the 1,000,000 great Tao cultivators' deaths would have a profound impact. After searching for half a month, they finally made a discovery. It was a chaotic mist similar to the one they had encountered while helping the Soul Heart King find a world core, only larger in scale. This indicated that the lizard god realm's world core was stronger. The third ancestor asked,
Is the world core inside this mist?
Lin Moyu nodded.
You can try to see for yourself.
The mist looked no different from others, but when the third ancestor attempted to enter, he retreated immediately. The third ancestor whispered,
It looks the same, but it's completely different inside.
He blew a breath towards the mist, but unlike ordinary chaotic mist, this one didn't budge. The Beast Emperor unleashed a fierce wind infused with the Wind Great Tao, but the mist remained unmoved. Lin Moyu explained,
This is the world core's self-protection. It inherently contains great Tao power, making it immune to various great Tao forces. Ordinary methods can't disperse it.
Mo He and Ouyang Wentian also tried, but they couldn't affect the mist. The third ancestor looked at Lin Moyu.
All right, let's get started.
He knew Lin Moyu must have a plan. Lin Moyu smiled.
It's actually simple. The world core's Tao is Yang, while the soul void's power is Yin. By using the soul void's power, we can erode the mist.
As he spoke, Lin Moyu pulled out several primordial virtual treasures. Using the virtual body, he activated the treasures, releasing the soul void's power, which collided with the mist. The mist gradually dissipated under the soul void's power, though slowly. As long as the process continued steadily, it wouldn't take too long. The Tao Lords understood that Lin Moyu's method seemed simple but was actually difficult to execute. The primordial virtual treasures were in the hands of the small spirit domain king, and obtaining them would require defeating him, a feat they couldn't accomplish. Moreover, they couldn't make the treasures acknowledge them as their master. The third ancestor asked,
How did you manage it?
Lin Moyu replied,
There's a secret method in the Buddhist sect called the 3 lives. I used this method, combined with my own insights and modifications, to develop the virtual body. Then, I used the virtual body to make the primordial virtual treasures acknowledge me as their master.
Lin Moyu openly shared his understanding of the 3 lives secret method with the third ancestor and others. After reviewing it, they were even more astonished. The Beast Emperor sighed.
Who would have thought the 3 lives secret method could be understood in such a way? Lin brother, you truly have your own unique approach.
The third ancestor whispered.
Your talent is unprecedented.
Lin Moyu shook his head.
The true genius is the person from the Buddhist sect who created this secret method. Do you know about the Buddhist sect's past, third ancestor?
The third ancestor replied.
I only know that the Buddhist sect has a great causality with the origin continent, which cannot be disturbed. The insect race is similar.
Lin Moyu chuckled, his eyes hinting at amusement.
Great causality, indeed. This causality is really enormous.
Chapter 3704. A Gift from a Senior. Lin Moyu had never fully understood where the Buddhist and insect races came from or why they had a significant causality with the origin continent. Despite not being strong, no one dared to provoke them. Yet, the insect race was sworn enemies with the dragon race. Only now did Lin Moyu begin to understand. The Buddhist race once had an incredibly powerful existence who came to the small spirit domain, killed a king, and created the 3 lives secret method, becoming the king of the domain. He claimed to be from the Buddhist realm, but later disappeared, leaving no trace. At that time, the Buddhist realm might have been the predecessor to the origin continent, or perhaps it was from a previous era. Maybe the Buddhist realm was too powerful, arousing the world will's jealousy, and was subsequently destroyed, ending an era. The insect race likely existed during that era, similar to the dragon race today. The dragon race, born from the Taiyin and Taiyang of the origin continent, was closely related to the origin continent and could be seen as the world will's half-son, possessing immense fate within the origin continent. This is why only the dragon race dared to provoke the insect race, and their enmity was deep-seated, originating from their fundamental nature. However, the dragon race also hesitated to truly eliminate the insect race due to the world will's influence. Lin Moyu felt his speculation was mostly correct. The Buddhist and insect races were products of a previous era. The world will had buried them but not eradicated them entirely, leaving behind some legacy. Following this reasoning, Lin Moyu believed the world will treated the Buddhist and insect races as pets, perhaps to remind itself of its past creations and destructions.
What does the world will want to do?
Lin Moyu wondered, sensing that the world will had its own plans. Anyone with intelligence would want to take action. The third ancestor's voice interrupted his thoughts.
Little fox, once the world core is revealed, what do you plan to do?
Lin Moyu replied.
First, weaken it, then leave it. I'll ask Xin Dao friend to guard it here. Xin Dao friend, is there any problem with what I said earlier?
Shen Chun immediately responded.
No problem.
Shen Chun knew he was already on Lin Moyu's path, and although the future was uncertain, he couldn't back down now. The third ancestor whispered.
Xin Dao friend, you will not regret your choice in the future. Believe us. Even your teacher will think your decision is correct.
Shen Chun nodded.
Thank you, senior. I understand.
The primordial virtual treasures continued to blow, dispersing the protective mist around the world core. Only a fist-sized core remained visible. This was the true core of the lizard god realm, where the world will resided. If it were damaged, the entire realm would suffer. However, this was only one aspect of the lizard god realm in the soul void. There was another core in the real lizard god realm. The two cores were interconnected, with this one being half of the complete heart. Except for Lin Moyu, everyone else was seeing the world core for the first time. The third ancestor sighed.
Today, I've opened my eyes. I see the world core looks like this.
The beast emperor joked.
You old man claimed to know everything in the origin continent. How come you didn't find this place directly? You're supposed to be good at finding treasures.
Emohei asked.
Lin brother, how do you plan to weaken it? The core is surrounded by great Daos. If we enter, it will be a fierce battle, possibly leading to the collapse of the world. Is that what you want?
Lin Moyu replied.
No need to make it so complicated.
He then used the world-burning fire to penetrate the world core. Instantly, the void trembled, and the others seemed to hear sharp cries. These sounds were created by the great Daos being refined. The world-burning fire was born to refine worlds and destroy great Daos. It was like the nemesis of the world. It was imaginable that the entire lizard god realm was now enveloped by the world-burning fire, as this place was not only where the world will resided but also the center of the realm. The Dao lords narrowed their eyes. The third ancestor whispered.
Lin brother, isn't this the great Dao devouring flame?
He had previously mistaken the world-burning fire for the great Dao essence fire. Now, he realized they were similar but had entirely different effects. The world-burning fire was even more powerful. Lin Moyu said,
This fire is called the world-burning fire, specializing in refining worlds. It also has the effect of the great Dao essence fire.
The third ancestor felt a chill. He had underestimated Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu's techniques and the world-burning fire far exceeded his expectations. The beast emperor laughed loudly.
Old 3, you also have times when you misjudge things.
The third ancestor ignored him.
Little fox, where did you get this fire from?
Lin Moyu replied.
It was left by a senior.
Mentioning a senior immediately made them think of the green-robed old man. If it was something he left behind, it would make sense. Lin Moyu didn't elaborate further. The world-burning fire was one of his trump cards, and he had already given the third ancestor enough face. Fortunately, the third ancestor didn't press for more information. Instead, Ouyang Wentian and Xin Chun were left wondering who this senior was and how they could leave behind such a fearsome flame. In other words, with this fire, Lin Moyu could refine the entire lizard god realm. With his methods, if his strength were slightly greater, no world could withstand him. This confirmed what Lin Moyu had said earlier. He wasn't seeking their help but giving them an opportunity. If they weren't with him when Lin Moyu clashed with the world will, they would be the ones in trouble. They remembered his words.
I will eventually fight the world will.
They didn't know how strong the world will was, but they knew Lin Moyu was unfathomable, backed by a terrifying existence. That existence could destroy worlds effortlessly, and if it acted, it would be more terrifying than the origin calamity. So, they chose to stand with Lin Moyu. The world-burning fire burned for several days, weakening the world core significantly. The cries grew fainter. If it continued for a few more days, the world core would collapse, and the entire lizard god realm would vanish. This wasn't what Lin Moyu wanted, so he withdrew the world-burning fire. The world core's light was no longer as vibrant, and the world will seem to have fallen into a deep sleep. The entire world was severely damaged. But it wasn't over yet. Lin Moyu began to draw divine runes. Soul power intertwined in the soul void, and the runes emerged, all specially created by Lin Moyu. The Beast Emperor whispered,
Old 3, do you recognize these runes?
The third ancestor's eyes gleamed as he shook his head.
I don't recognize them. They must be created by the little fox himself.